and welcome again to Oscar Mike Radio. My name is Travis, Marine Corps veteran and your host. As we count down to number 500, I want to give a big shout out to Keith Hayes of Sensed One Productions, who co-produces this podcast. I want to thank my sponsors, Joyce Asek of Asek Real Estate, Echo 6 Ranch Designs, and my supporters, Cason Shaving Company, Exceptional Parent, and my favorite, Fight Camp, Be Your Strongest Combination. Yeah, we're counting down to 500. This is going by very, very quickly. And one of the themes that we deal with here in Oscar Mike Radio and other veterans I talk to is the aspect of business. And I'm very happy to introduce my next guest, Charity from The Happy CEO. Charity, welcome to Oscar Mike Radio. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful day. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and share the 4Ps framework with your audience to help with more inner freedom and success and abundance, especially for those veterans out there. Thanks again. It's Labor Day weekend, so peace with you.
It's Labor Day weekend. It's Friday night. We are full throttle working, getting it done. But that's what you do in business. Um,
Mhm.
so let's talk a little bit about who Charity is before we get into all the good stuff, and it's all good. How did you grow up? Did you have any connection to veterans, and then what got you into this? It's a business, but it's also like a business of service, if you would.
Yes, it is. It's a soul-centered business, heart and brain centered. And yeah, I mean, I grew up, honoring my family, my dad, my grandpa, my uncles, everybody was in the military. I have a deep respect for that. I tried to go to the ROTC when I was a freshman in college to get my tuition paid. And I just always had that, heart of service and serving my country. And, I went to go to boot camp and had my physical and found out I was pregnant. So I couldn't finish boot camp, unfortunately. But my heart was in it. But I guess, I had different plans for my life. So I still work with veterans, with Veterati and several veteran groups, and I've served that way.
So I'm watching an Instagram reel, and I wish I had been able to show you before the start because it was like a couple weeks ago where I think it's Kevin O'Leary, but don't quote me on that one. And he says, veterans a lot of times make the worst business people because they're just not wired to do it because of their aspect of service. And I took umbrage to that, Charity. I'm like, wait a minute, I think the creator of FedEx might disagree with you. So, you have built this, Charity Brown. You built this volume of experience. What's been your experience working with veterans, and why should we work with you?
Oh yeah. Well, I beg to differ for one. I've found that military veterans are way more disciplined and resilient and can take, entrepreneurship head on and have a lot less fear about taking the leaps and following through. I've had over 100 different business accelerator groups where I do workshops and we start businesses from the ground up, from people just transitioning out of the military or they're going to transition within the next few years and they build their business as they are transitioning back to society. And that's the thing is like I really feel like the drive and the discipline is really what it takes and the resiliency to be an entrepreneur because it's a wild ride. You have to be ready for anything at any time. It's not just a cookie cutter. So you have to be able to like shift, adjust, take losses and get back up. So I definitely disagree with Kevin O'Leary. I don't think that that's true because I've worked with so many military owners and so many different kinds of businesses, and I've never felt that way.
Maybe I got a little ahead of myself, but that bothered me, and I can't remember if it was Kevin O'Leary, but it was one of those. They're on the social media, in a real heavy way.
Yeah.
But you develop this happy CEO, these four tenets that you use to build businesses. Take me back before I got a little ahead of myself. I'm sorry, but take me back to where that methodology came from and why you created your business around that.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't let my looks fool you because I'm 25 years senior business owner. Okay, I've owned restaurants. I've had over 300 employees. I've busted knuckles in the field. Okay, from e-commerce to consulting. I have a triple degree in business administration and accounting. I've worked with corporate. I've done a lot. So I've seen and been the unhappy CEO. And like to a soul wrecking point where it will ruin you and your life and your livelihood if you let your business devour you and you don't have the tools and the gauntlet of tools that it takes to be able to run a successful business, because no matter how many degrees you have, no matter how trained or skilled you are, it still weighs on you, and it will keep people up at night, and it will, ruin marriages, and it will, eat you alive. And so it is something that I found after 20 plus years of business ownership, that it's an inside job to be a happy CEO. And any CEO could be a happy CEO if they wanted to, and would, drop the chains and the baggage of the day-to-day business operations and really focus more on their own happiness as well as running the business.